This is a quick demonstration of all the new features that are currently under development. And the first feature I'd like to demonstrate is the pan and zoom. And first off, we'll notice it's zooming around the center of the screen at this point. So this has always been a weak point with GraphPad. That's been fixed. In addition to that, I've added a slider, and so now during cold weather, you can actually just use a stylus in order to pan and zoom as opposed to taking your gloves off. So that's a feature I've been wanting to add for a long time, but I had to actually get the zoom to center first. The second feature I'd like to demonstrate is now the selection area can be used with all the different modes. And so we create the selection area in points, but now we can go to lines and we can actually turn all of our lines on and off, or turn them individually on and off. And the advantage of this is now rather than having to select each line, we can actually use the selection area, create a group of lines, and then we can adjust the type or width. So we can change them all to dotted and change it back to solid, or change the thickness, etc. So for example, if we want to change the thickness of these lines, we would just go into points mode, create a selection area, go to lines, and then change the thickness. And you can see it's being increased. Same thing with the color. And we'll just go ahead and do those steps. There we go. With arcs, in a similar fashion, we can go to points, select our arcs, or create a selection area. So we did something over here. Right, so create a selection area. Right. Turn all arcs on. Turns everything else off. Now we can change, for example, the radius, and we'll just set that down to 4 feet. We're using feet in this case, and we can see we can adjust them all at one shot. Line thickness, etc. Curves is also very interesting. So in this case, we'll just take our selection area, we'll move it over this set of curves. So we'll go to the curves. Now we'll turn everything on. And now we can go and fill this with color. And it doesn't work again. Great. Actually, points mode, let's see. Let's try this, actually. There we go. Turn everything on. There we go. Lines, fill, and fill everything. Okay. And last but not least, whoops, dimensions. Okay, we'll go to dimensions, and again, we'll go into points mode. To close this out, we'll select an area. And now we can go to dimensions, and now we can change all of their colors, for example. We can change them, all of our dimensions. Sorry, I had to turn them all on first. Change all the color of our dimensions to whatever color we want. We can change the font, etc. Let's change that back to black, just so it's a little nicer. And last but not least, we have text. So we can turn all of our text on, turn it off. You're not working correctly. You can see it's still under development. Turn them on. And now we can actually change the font, for example, and we'll see if we move this around. We can change all of the dimensions fonts at the same time. We can also change, for example, the size. So we'll move it up to, say, 40, etc. So alignment's going to be a key feature I'm going to want to add, just because I noticed it looked a little sloppy with people not being able to align their text. We'll also notice that as part of this, I actually colored the template text. So if we have a form, that text is now colored. In a similar fashion, if we're in text mode, if we create a new area, it shows up as a pretty blue as well. And that's to differentiate so we don't get the selection area and the text area confused. It sort of leaps off the page that this is now a text field. We still have the ability to tab between fields, use our drop-down list boxes, etc. And that's my presentation. It's a little sloppy, but it gets the point across. And these are the new features which I'm currently working on. Thanks very much.